Hey everyone, it's Nick and Ron with another edition of Ask Ron. We are actually at Ron's CMG meeting right now, taking a little bit of time out to answer your questions.
That stands for Commercial Mastermind Group.
Oh, yep, sorry.
Okay.
Using the internal lingo.
Yeah.
All right, as always, if you have any questions and you're a Gold Club member, you can send them to us at ask@ronlegrand.com or post them right on the forum. We like it when you post them on the forum because then some of the other students and members on there can help you before Ron gets a chance to answer them once a week. So our first question here is from Phil in Ohio. Phil says, I buy high-end houses on terms, generally $300,000 to $500,000 in value. I set up a separate LLC for each one with its own bank account. In terms of protection from predators, why is putting them in a land trust more effective than my system?
Golly, Phil. Well, first of all, that means you're paying an annual fee for every LLC and you're filing a tax return for every LLC. So just picture this. What if each property was in a land trust and then land trust owned all of those? Okay, the land trust beneficial interest can be one LLC. So now you have one tax return, one annual filing. As far as protection, you have just as much protection owning them in a land trust with the trust owned by the LLC, if not more, than having them owned by the LLC. So you're frankly just wasting a lot of money doing it the hard way and making your CPA richer as well. There's no annual fee for a land trust. There's no tax return. There's no ID number. There's no bank account. You only need one bank account to manage all the properties in that one LLC. Now, I think we have a lesson on that on the Gold Club, don't we? Sure we do.
Yeah, we have a few lessons on entity structuring, as well as a course that you recorded.
Yeah, it's called Structuring Your Empire. You might want to call in on that while we're practically giving it away too. 2-day event. All
right. Next question is from Evgenii in Nevada. It says, normally mortgage interest is tax deductible.
Yes.
However, with subject to, we don't advertise to the lender who the new owner is, so the lender would still be sending the 1098 forms to the original owner with their social security number on it.
It doesn't matter because if you're paying the interest, you get to deduct it. If the owner tries to deduct it, okay, that's between them and the IRS, but they have no legal right to do it if they're not paying it.
All right, his next question is, if the seller only agreed to, say, 3 to 5 year financing with a balloon for the balance at the end, and your tenant buyers ended up not buying, what are the recommended ways to deal with that when it comes time to close? Okay,
I answer that question about twice a day. Look, let's say you got a 5-year balloon, haven't cashed out at 5 years. Your seller has two choices. They can take the house back, and I don't mean by foreclosing, because you would give it back to them if they want it back, or they can extend the term. It's that simple. Okay, they're going to make that decision. Now, of course, you're not just going to sit around and wait till the end of the 5 years to do anything about it. You're going to put a tenant buyer in the house, and you're going to give them considerably less than 5 years. Actually, I don't give them an option to buy for more than 2 years, and then I decide to extend it if they've been okay and they paid their rent on time. I'm not moving them out, but I will put them on notice, hey, you better get this thing done in the 3rd year or you might lose it. So in other words, just manage your business and see that that balloon is there. Truthfully, I want to collect those payments and get that cash flow as long as I can, but I'm not going to wait till the 59th month to start thinking about it.
All right, and finally we have James with 2 questions. James is in North Carolina, and he says, the large option deposit you get up front, is that money taxed at the end of the year?
Well, there's different lines of thinking on that. One line is it's a deposit, therefore it's not income, but since it's not refundable, your CPA is probably going to tell you to pay taxes on it in the year that you got the deposit, and that's the safest way to do it anyway. And you might as well pay the taxes while you got the money to pay them with. But another line of thinking is you don't have to pay taxes until they either default or they cash out. Honestly, I'd pay them in the year you got it.
All right, and our final question from James is, Ron says to have more than just yourself in your LLC, so we would be making a multi-member LLC, correct?
Yes.
Only 1% ownership is all that is needed?
Don't even need that. 0.5% is plenty, but I'll expand on that just a hair. For example, Limited partnership, for example, could own the LLC, and even though that's technically one member, it has multiple members. Pretty safe way to do it. Also, an irrevocable trust, key word there is irrevocable, so you better be careful, is a great way to own it. Nobody's going to penetrate that. Check with your attorneys. You need a law firm that's good in entity structuring, asset protection, estate planning, and tax reduction to build your pile one time. They'll build you a book, and all these pieces will be in place, and it's really just estate planning is what it is. Asset protection is just part of that. But you're going to need to get a law firm, put all these heads together, get it done once. And one of the things you're going to want to ask them, because I don't know what state is in, does he say?
Yeah, North Carolina.
Okay. I can't remember if North Carolina is tenants by the entirety, but if you're married, you certainly want to take ownership that way. But you want to have this conversation with your attorneys. Tell them you need to write the questions. You know, how can I own this so that a predator is not going to take it away from me, and make sure that the attorneys understand the questions so they can give you the right answer. And then you need to understand the right answer, because if you don't understand the answer, you inquire until you do. Why? Don't just take it carte blanche without questioning it.
All right, and then finally, it says after that, would creating your operating statement later explaining all the details?
You mean your operating agreement is what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
You have to have an operating agreement at the time you form an LLC, because you won't even get a bank account open without the operating agreement. You need the EIN number and the operating agreement to open a bank account.
Okay. And that's it for this week.
Okay, guys. Well, we probably should tell them about the finding sellers in any area coming up here shortly. In case you're not aware of it by now, starting on the 26th, August 26th, 27th, and 28th, I got a one-time event scheduled. We're going to spend 3 days on nothing but finding motivated sellers with multiple contributors on their way of doing it. By the time we get through with that 3 days, you're going to have way more than you. Nobody can do everything we discuss in that 3 days. But you get to pick and choose which way suits you best, and you're going to hear from the experts, and you're going to hear their results. So it's going to be a very incredible 3-day event. So it's free. How do I sign up?
We can put a link right down below this video.
Okay. And also coming up, just keep an eye on I don't know, what's the dates of the seller financing thing? I can't remember.
16th and 17th of September.
Okay. 16 and 17 of September, I'm going to do a 2-day event on buying and selling with owner financing. You will never get that information anywhere else. Stuff I learned over the years. Is that one free?
That one is free.
Jeez, why are we giving everything away, man? Okay, it's also a one-time only event, and I am teaching the whole thing. And then I think we have one on paper scheduled as well later on, right?
Yeah, that's later on. We do have a big announcement with our first live event coming up, live in-person event.
Oh yeah, okay. In October, I'm doing the first live Quick Start School in Orlando since last February, I guess. So we actually will be in a room with people, okay? And yeah, we will be complying with COVID. I mean, all the restaurants you've been eating at, we'll comply as well as they do. A hotel will make us anyway. So there's a lot of people who want to get back into a live event because there's nothing we can do virtually that is going to even slightly compare to doing a live event. So if you've paid for Quick Start, in other words, if you paid for the virtual event and haven't been to the live event, you're eligible to get in that one at no charge. You just got to register. And if you have paid for Quick Start in any way, whether you bought mentoring with it or a master's or whatever, and you have not attended a live event, you're eligible to get in. We're going to limit to those folks for this one because we will fill up. 100 is the most that we're going to take in that event. And yeah, you'll be spaced out and so forth. So is your link down there registered for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we'll have a phone number too if you want to talk to a course advisor and
Okay.
work out the details on that.
Okay, so get registered for that. If you want to just buy Quick Start, because you haven't yet, you can also do that and get in that event until we're full. Again, 100 is full because we will, be in a room that's spaced out quite heavily, so that's all we want to put in it. And paper power is what day? I don't remember.
I believe that is the end of October.
Okay. I'm also doing a 2-day event on paper. That means mortgages, deeds of trust, liens and judgments that are attached to real estate. One-time only event. And frankly, you will be amazed at the income opportunities in the paper that's attached to real estate if you never buy the real estate. That's a multi-billion-dollar industry within this industry that most people actually have absolutely no clue on. And I'm guessing that's also free, right?
Paper power? No. No.
No? Okay. Damn, we get to collect money for one of them? All right. But it will be deeply, deeply discounted. So keep your eye on that. Anyway, get out there and get some deals going. Get on the forum, talk to the other people on the forum, get your questions in here to us, and we'll do this every single week. See you next week.